My first job was in Sticky's in Ballymena, which was the closest town. Yeah, at the time it was beautiful big shop, big windows in the front, and he would have took photographs of the girls that worked in there. You know, they were very pretty, they had beautiful makeup and hair, and they would have been photographed and put on the shop front, and they'd flags outside. And I was about maybe 12 or 13 the first time I noticed the shop, and I thought, oh, can I get my hair cut in there? And you're just into fashion, and I would have seen the girls around the town in Ballymena, and I would have followed them up the street, you know. So yeah, I just loved it. That was my first job, work experience was in there. Definitely Sticky Torrance was my mentor, and really would have taken me under his wing from the very first week that I was there. Very encouraging, and could see how keen I was in hairdressing, because even at 7 years old, I would have been doing a girl's world. I loved hair, I loved makeup, and I was really influenced by a lot of music at the time, so I really loved twisting hair and working with hair. And I wouldn't have got encouraged that much at home to do it, you know. It was more like messing at home, you know. Not in a bad way, but just, you know, Mommy wasn't into hairdressing at all. But Sticky really could see that I was very interested, and he used to say, come on, just stand, you know, beside me. So I used to just stand at his elbow and watch everything that he did. Honestly, he was amazing. Winning the fantasy hair competition. I was at college at the time, although I was working in Sticky's on a Wednesday night and a Saturday, and I wanted to enter this fantasy competition. And Sticky, he said, don't enter the junior one, enter the senior one in the evening, and we'll all go up. So the girls in the salon at the time, he had them all dipping hair in gel and setting it, and then I would have come in on the Wednesday, and he'd say, now if there's another night that you can come to the salon, come and we'll show you how we're making this hair. So it was 4+4 gel at the time. I think it's like not used anymore. So we would have dipped the hair in the gel, and we'd have put it around all these pins that he'd nailed onto a board. And I did that for like a few nights, you know, gel in the hair, and then we let it sit for 2-3 weeks and let it dry. And he helped me make my first ever, and it was my sister, God love her. She was 16 at the time, at 15 maybe. I was 16, she was 15. And we did it autumn. Autumn was the theme that we used for the fantasy competition. And Jeanette was out in a rash all over her chest and down her arms. And she said, I don't want to do this. And I said, Daddy, would you tell her she has to model for me? Because my sister Jeanette is 5'8". And she's absolutely, like, she's so beautiful. She's really, really beautiful. Beautiful eyes, and, you know, she's got great cheekbones and everything. She's really beautiful. And she was my model, because Sticky said, just use your sister. Sure, she's perfect. And we went and we won the competition. And I was like, oh, Sticky, thank you so much. I can't believe that. You know, I can't believe it. And he said, I can't believe that you are shocked at winning. Of course you're going to win. Walking out on the stage at the Royal Albert Hall as the first hairdresser from Ireland to win the Visionary Award. And that was a long time ago. That was, I think, 2005. I've had an awful lot of defining moments, because another one was probably lifting that gold medal for OMC as well at the European Championships. And I got 5th place one time in Paris for the fantasy, and you know, honestly I thought my blood vessels were going to burst. I've had so many times that I have been, oh my goodness, this is like a moment, you know. As the years have went past and you have a family, you get married, you have a family, whatever, it was challenging still being in Dunloy, because in my head I was somebody else. I wasn't Joanne O'Neill, you know, Joanne Hughes, Joanne O'Neill, Mommy, you know, hairdresser in Dunloy. I was Joanne O'Neill. Do you know what I mean? I want to be out there. I want to do magazine work. I want to do show work. You know, I want to keep moving, and that I found very, very challenging. Then I got to work with the Wella Style Council and the guys at Wella. And it's not necessarily hairdressers all the time that inspire you as well. You know, as a hairdresser, I met Sinead O'Sullivan and Cleo McCormick, and honest to God, they are like a breath of fresh air to me, because they just talk about things that I absolutely love. They read magazines that I love, you know, especially Cleo. But Sinead that gave me the platform to go forward in Wella, to be doing the Trend Vision shows, to do photo shoots, you know, and to do the education as well. And that's something I never really thought about, because I never thought, who would want to be educated by me, you know. But now when I've been doing it, I really, really love it. So that was great. And then all the guys on the Style Council team. There's a lot of women actually come to my mind as well. I have Maeve O'Healy-Hart, who I've got to work with a lot. She really is such a great person for pushing you forward and actually bullying you and making you do things that you think you don't want to do, and then you do want to do them when you think, oh, it nearly becomes my idea, you know. But yeah, Maeve is just very inspirational. I've known her a long time. Wendy Cummins is another girl that I'm very friendly with, and she got me on the National Hair Federation team. Funny, I said to John Joe on the way up, I said, we should have went to America when we were 22, because he was booked to go to America when we were 22, and I had arranged to work in a salon in Philadelphia when I was 22. So we were going to sneak away, if you know what I mean, to go to America. And I think I would have liked to have done that. My poor sister Jeanette, who's just nearly 2 years younger than me, was bullied terribly by me to model, because she's 5'8". I don't think we've ever had a crossword in her life, ever, ever, ever. She is like your sensible big sister. That's who she is to me. Rolanda's the youngest in the house. She's I'm 10 years older than her. And she is, again, she's very sensible. She would do makeup for me for hair shows and things. And she would always be behind you and saying, do what you want to do. Don't do what you think other people want to see. Just do what you want to do. And she's just such a great help to me as well. And she's great help with Susan. My brothers, God love them, they're both, you know, painters and decorators. And my brother Gareth can turn his hand to anything. And they just, every wish I have is like, Gareth, can you do this for me? And it's like, yeah, no problem. And then my brother Barry wouldn't fight with anybody. He's so laid back and easygoing, and nothing's a bother. He just gets things done. And yeah, I just have such a great, I think I'm the one that causes all the problems. It's like, I'm the one that's going, can you do this for me? Can you do this? You know, and I kind of boss everybody about. My dad is very driven, but he's a businessman. He is, you know, the biggest painting contractor in Ireland. You know, he's very driven. He's, you know, my mum is a seamstress. She's very creative. They're very loving people. They're very giving, probably more generous than they should be. They're so generous people. My husband is so, John Joe is, he's the person that raised me up. He's the person that let me go. I remember going to Piccadilly, and he's on the other end of the line. Where is Piccadilly Circus? In London. And he's telling you on a map. You know, he just said, you can do this, you can go, you can soar, you can do whatever you want. You know, like my children were, John Joe was sick whenever I won my All-Ireland medal, you know, and he was the person at home letting me go and do things. If I got an opportunity with the team, John Joe will say, sure, don't be asking me, sure, you know you'll be going, you know. So I have like constant backup there. It's somebody in your corner. You know, he raises you up on a big high pedestal and, you know, makes me believe in myself. And my children, oh my goodness. Susan, she's the youngest, she's 10. There's nobody bigger than her. She's the big ego in our house. And Susan loves drama. And I drive her around the country to everything. She's in Extras NI, and she gets to do parts in movies and all sorts of things. She's been in Game of Thrones, and, you know, done a scene with Liam Neeson. You know, I will drive her wherever she has to go. Whereas my son, who is nearly 20, John Joe Jr., you know, he's a great fella. He really is. He's a great. And again, if you're worried about something, he's a lovely person to speak to. You know, he's studying medicine. I can totally see why he's so suited to it. You could just sit and talk to him like the GP. He just takes it all in, and he's so level-headed, and I'm very arty, and so is Susan, and my husband's very level-headed, and so is my son. So it's good, you know, a good mix. I would like people to look at some of the images that I've created and say, you know, they're beautiful images. I'd like to be known for, I love avant-garde. I would love to be known as, you know, beautiful avant-garde, and that I work hard.